Hey you guys, I'm back already, and as you can hear, I'm worse than ever. Oh my god, I feel so awful, but I still feel better not being on those drugs. Anyway, I just wanted to say a quick thank you for your honesty and acceptance of that video that I put up. It was so nice, and it's really refreshing that you're being so honest about it and also so accepting. So thank you, my lovelies. And I just wanted to quickly show you this. I have depotted some stuff into, you know how I got all that Garden of Wisdom stuff, and I just did that Garden of Wisdom empties. Because I'm feeling rubbish, I'm not, I don't know, when I'm feeling like this, I can't just stew in bed. You know how what I probably should be doing is just lying in bed, but I kind of keep lying down and then going, oh no, I'm bored. So I'm sort of having a bits of sort out. I've got stuff from my wardrobe all out on the floor, and I was thinking I might actually film a sort of decluttering video because it's just a shelf full of stuff. But I've got some of those vacuum bags, you know, that you just use your vacuum cleaner to suck out the air, so I'll film it and see if it's too boring or not. But anyway, so I've depotted or transferred from one bottle to the other the beet oil from The Ordinary, the sea buckthorn oil, that's the one that's that horrible orange colour and it stains everything, and then the rosehip oil, so that was the prickly pear seed oil that I didn't like. I've just thrown that because I'm just not going to use it. The smell is awful. It was the anti-aging peptide and the what was the other one? I think it was a niacin. So I just wanted to say that these are three of my favourite oils. I'm really enjoying all three of these. I would say my favourite is the sea buckthorn oil because I've used this the last couple of nights and my skin just feels so smooth. Obviously today I look pale and ill, but that aside, my skin just feels really smooth and I've really enjoyed it. I don't love that it's orange, and the orange does stay on. It stays on overnight. You know, I've just noticed that my pillowcase is stained, and so I need to change it, but I always have a white pillowcase underneath and I fling the top pillowcase off, and I only sleep on one pillowcase, so I'm just going to change a white pillowcase on my pillowcase, if you know what I mean. I don't have to change the sheets every day. The bee oil is that mixed oil from The Ordinary, and yeah, that's a really nice one as well. I really enjoy that one. And then the rosehip oil, that's really a nice rich oil, and if my skin's feeling really dry, it's another one that I'm quite happy to turn to. And I was thinking I might use this one up because I think that's probably the most unstable of these three, and I thought I need to get to using this up, and I feel like I'm going to use these up more now that I have not decanted them, recanted them into these plastic bottles. But I have actually got glass bottles like this that I ordered from eBay, and so I think I'm going to plan on just recanting everything that I get from The Ordinary, which is a bit of a pain and a bit of a waste of time. And I was going to use my label maker, but it ran out of ink, and so I just wrote the labels on. But I think I'm just more likely to use them in bottles like this because it's so much more enjoyable, isn't it? The only thing is have to be very careful with the orange one, because you know how I said the Garden of Wisdom ones just shoot right across the room, and so I don't want orange oil going, you know, anywhere that it shouldn't. I mean, I've got a leather sofa, so that's not too bad, but I'll need to be very careful with that. I've got a cream carpet, so I definitely need to be careful with that. So yeah, I thought it was worth showing you that, and just maybe have a think about it. If you order a lot from The Ordinary, maybe think about recanting them into different containers. And I also wanted to tell you about a couple of things that I've ordered, because a couple are getting delivered tonight from Debenhams. That I've ordered the Blender Defender. It is in fact, I'm wishing I'd have ordered two. It's a cage for the Beauty Blender. I'm really enjoying using the Beauty Blender, and I just actually filmed a August favourites. Funny thing is, I filmed an August favourites not realising that it was only like the 14th of the month, and so I said in it, oh, I'm filming it because I've got everything ready, and I should have really said I'm filming it because I didn't realise it was only the 14th, but I have got everything on my list. You know, I did have everything ready to film it, but I didn't really realise it was quite so early. But I suppose by the time I film it, by the time I edit it and put it up, it'll be about the 20th anyway. And maybe my Beauty Blender should have been in that, because I'm loving using my Beauty Blender. I use the brush to apply my foundation still, but then I use my Beauty Blender to, you know, to blend it in, to sort of blend it out, not blend it in, blend it out, to blend everything out. And I've been using that Real Techniques. Do you remember that plastic one that I got from Boots? And I have to say there is little mould spots going onto my sponge, so I wouldn't recommend getting that one, but this Blender Defender has got holes in it. It's a plastic case but it's got holes in it, so that looks pretty good. So I've ordered that from Debenhams, and I've ordered it's called a lash liner by Kat Von D, and it's got really bad reviews, but I've ordered it anyway because it seems to be like it's a waterline liner is how she intended it to be. But a lot of people have said it stung their waterline, but there were some good reviews. So I'm really curious to see if it works on me, because every other waterline liner that people have said has worked for them hasn't worked for me. And so I kind of thought, well, who knows? Maybe one that doesn't work for a lot of people will work for me. You never know. So I'm curious to give that a go. So those two things I think are what's arriving between 5 and 7 today from Debenhams. And I've also ordered from Cult Beauty the Norvina eyeshadow palette, because for my birthday I got a palette from Kev. I can't remember which one it was, but I bought it, sold it, and then I bought this Anastasia Soft Glam palette, and I haven't sold this. I put it up once and then never really paid attention to it, so I need to have a look at it and maybe reduce the price on it. But I don't love this Soft Glam palette, unfortunately. I love the texture of the shadows, that, you know, they're beautiful, they're lovely shadows, but they're just, there's only a couple of sort of shimmers in there, and they're colours that I already have, and they're just nothing special, I don't think. So the Norvina one is a sort of purpley type shadow palette, and so I've ordered that from Cult Beauty, so I can't wait for that to arrive. Although, again, I'm really trying to declutter, but I just thought that was really different. So that's just a couple of things that I've ordered. I'm really craving putting in a big order from DCM. Oh, my voice just kind of cleared a little bit there. I really fancy ordering the hydration vaccine, and I really fancy ordering the neck elasticity catalyst, but they both come in the little jars, and if I ordered from DCM again, I would want to order the tubes, because I cannot abide those jars, and there's not really a way of depotting them in an easy way. You know, I did think I could put them in those jars that have the little hole in the top where you could press them down, but I don't know. I tried that once and it didn't work for me. It wouldn't actually come out properly. So I don't know whether I could actually find a way of getting it into one of these. I think it wouldn't really work out. But the tubes are like £60–70 or something like that, you know, and I really enjoy their low viscosity cleaning ester as well. And, you know, to buy the 3 of those, you're talking about £150. So it's just not something I can afford at the moment, but I've just got a real hankering for it, you know, for really luxury skincare, which to me that is the hydration vaccine. Is just, you put it on and it's just a beautiful soft matte finish, but your skin just feels so baby soft. And the neck elasticity catalyst just feels like Vaseline, but it always made my neck feel like it was doing something, even though the before and after pictures never looked that great. It felt like it was doing something, you know, and like I said, the low viscosity cleaning ester feels like my favourite drugstore one, where you shake it up, but you didn't need to shake it up, and it just literally, you just wipe it over your eyes and everything would just come off. Anyway, I don't know why I was telling you that, but the other thing I wanted to tell you about was I wanted to find out if any of you tried any of the facial beauty devices, because I've been recommended a couple of times to try the Zip Nano device, and there's another one, I think it's called New Face, and I've looked at them a couple of times and there's just no way. Cult Beauty do the Zip one, it's £425. I don't have £425 to spend on it, and I just wouldn't want to spend £425 on a device. And I have had a look into the technology, and I've had a look into the research to see, is there any research? Is there anything that makes sense? And actually, when I looked into the research into the Zip and what that does, it kind of spurs on this ATP. And it was a bit, I don't know, I looked at it and it's a bit worrying, because it sort of messes with something that produces what's called reactive oxygen species, and there's some research that says that could create problems in DNA. And so I'm really unsure about that one. But apart from anything else, there's just no research behind any of these devices. There's nothing to say that they work. And the tiny bit of research that I did find for electrical current devices showed no differences in before and afters. However, the YouTube videos that I've watched, people are saying they've seen a huge difference. You know, actually one person left me a comment on my tretinoin video, on my hooding, flooding video, saying that she had seen a massive difference in the hooding of her eyes. And so I'm just so curious, because I'm like, is that the placebo effect, or is it actually doing something, and I'm not tempted to buy it, literally because, like I said, I wouldn't buy something for £400 unless it was a massive amount of research, or somebody I knew and trusted had done a video and I could see pictures for my own eyes. I could see a before and after with hooding, but and I knew what else they were using. Because for the lady that left a comment, I'm not saying that she's in any way not telling the truth. I'm sure she's seen a difference, but I don't know what else she's using. And I think, is she also using tretinoin, and maybe it's that, or is she done something else? Is she doing facial exercises, or it could be a tightening of the muscles to me rather than what they're claiming it to be. And maybe you could get the same effect from yoga, facial yoga, something like that. I don't know. So I'm curious if anybody's used any, and I wanted to just let you know my sort of initial thoughts, because I've been asked to do a video several times on it, and I don't have a complete conclusion on it, and I haven't completely looked into it. And like I said, I wouldn't spend the money. And I have thought before about maybe approaching companies and saying, I'd be interested in reviewing the device for an honest review if you were happy to send me one, or maybe even give me a discount. But it's not something I'm overly comfortable doing, because then I worry, well, if I don't like it, I've done it before where I've gone back to companies and said, this is just not working for me, or I just don't like it. But at the moment, the other thing would be, if I got it and I felt that it worked, how would I know that it was that and not the tretinoin? So that would be my big deal at the moment. And even like if I was using tretinoin for a year and felt that it hadn't worked, I'd want to wait 6 months after stopping tretinoin before trying anything else, because I feel like the tretinoin could continue, maybe not 6 months, maybe 3 months, but the effects could continue on. It could take a little while after that, so I wouldn't want to try anything competing. But I'm curious. So anyway, just came on for that quick chat, and like I said, I'm having a big declutter here, so I might well video that for you. But I'm going to go make a cup of honey tea to go with my decluttering. Thank you again for listening to me ramble yesterday about what's going on Patreon, and I don't know whether it's worthwhile telling you my plan as well going forward. Remember I said I had a chat with Kev, and really the plan was just, I'm still working on that book that I talked to you about, the skincare book. I'm getting on well with the chapter that I want to publish as a little ebook, which is the first one is going to be on acids. I've got a little bit more to do, and then it's just going to be about designing a cover and whatnot. And I'm going to use that to test the waters, and if that looks like it might be popular, if that sells well, then I'll really concentrate on doing the other chapters, so on oils and all the other kind of categories, and that will be another income stream that will help me stay on YouTube, and help me stay being a YouTuber and a blogger, if you like. I'm still thinking of doing the hydrotherapy, but the other thing as well is if my photography, another clearing there of my throat, if my photography goes well for my dad's wedding, I'm going to talk to the wedding coordinator there that I've met a couple of times and say to her, could you let other couples know that get married in the church to offer my services, because I thought that's something I could maybe do, because I've never done wedding photography before, so it'll be interesting to see how my photos of my dad's wedding come out, and that's another possible income stream. And if not, and if we do end up moving and find some other daycare for Watson, and after all my efforts then with the book and online courses and whatnot, because I've got a few other ideas for online courses for dog tricks and things like that, it may be that I end up leaving YouTube and get a traditional job, maybe in hydrotherapy or whatnot. But there's a few ideas, and things that I can do until then. So that's kind of what we talked about in a nutshell. So I thought you might be interested. So anyway, I really am going to go now and get that cup of tea. So thanks for listening to me, and I'll speak to you again soon.